Hi everyone, welcome to this week's Chinese class. As usual, before we started the new lessons, we are going to review what we have learned from the last session. So first of all, the first vocabulary that we are going to review is 满足. 满足. So actually it can be used as a verb, which means to be satisfied, and there are two different usages for 满足. First of all, you can say 对什么什么感到满足 or 满足于. So the meaning is to be satisfied with something. Or you can also say 满足 and you plus the objects after it. For example, 满足需要 meet the demands. 满足要求 meet the requirements. 满足条件 meet the conditions. 满足愿望 satisfy the wishes. So, for example, 我对现在的生活感到非常满足. I am very satisfied with my life now. 她不满足于已经取得的成绩。She is not satisfied with what has been achieved. 出版社尽量满足了读者的需要。The publisher tried its best to meet the needs of readers. And as we have also learned, is in English, the satisfaction has only one word, which is satisfaction, but unlike in Chinese, that can be expressed by two words. These are 满足 and 满意. Even though they both express satisfactory, but there is a slight difference between these two words. So, 满足, it means something meets your minimum requirements of satisfaction, whereas 满意, it meets your overall expectation and satisfaction over something. So, for example, you see the bar here below, and on the left side, you have just so-so, and on the right side, you have satisfaction and extreme satisfaction. So, if you want to shift from just so-so to satisfaction, at the turning point of these two, like at the very beginning of satisfaction, this is 满足, this is 满足. It means that, okay, it covers your minimum requirements to be satisfied. However, it may not attain the level that you want the best from it or from the situation. However, when you say 满意, you are really content with all the settings. You are very satisfied with the situation, or you are very satisfied with the overall performance. So you have to be 满足 first, and then you can feel 满意 about something. And then when you want to say extreme satisfied with something, so you can use 十分满意. You cannot say 十分满足. It is wrong. 十分满意. So this is the degree differences. We are going to see them more in the details. So, put it in a situation. If you studied very hard recently because your mother had promised you to give you a gift under the condition that you could get 60 for the exam. And as you performed quite well in the exam, you thought you could get at least 80. But when the result came out, it turned out to be that you only got 75 at the end. Then you can say that you feel 满足 with a score because you can still get your gift, because your mom said that the bar for the gift is 60 and you got 75. So you can still get your gift. So you can feel 满足 with the score. But you might not feel 满意 with the score because you expected more than this, because you were expecting 80 from it. But actually it turned out to be 75. So you can say 我对这个成绩感到满足. I think this score is already good for me, is enough for me, but 我不满意. But I don't feel satisfied. So this is the difference between these two. I hope it's much clearer for you. And you can see from this example that 满足 is really that you feel what you have obtained, you think it's enough to get something. And when you talk about 满意, like it really describes that all the things that meet your expectations. So let's see more details. Let's see more examples. 这次成绩不好，但我已经满足了。I didn't get a good grade, but I feel already satisfied. So even though the grade is not good, but I think it's enough for me, so I use 满足 here. 我对自己的成绩很满意。I am quite content with my grade. And here, it means that I am content with this grade because it not only satisfy my basic needs, like my minimum needs for the grades, but also covers my expectations. If I expect to get 90 and I got 91 or 92, I feel satisfied with it because it's good. It's matching my expectation. And 满足 is really just like it matches your minimum requirements for something. OK? 我对自己目前的工作感到很满足。It means although it still doesn't reach the desired level, it is acceptable, which is equivalent in this case to okay. Like it's okay. I'm fine with it. I'm satisfied with it. It's still okay. 我对目前的工作很满意。It's like, oh, actually, the work now, it's as I expected. So in this case, it's equivalent to, it's very good actually. So you see the difference. There is a difference of the degree between these two verbs. And other than this, as we said, 满足 cannot be used as 定语 or 状语, adverbial or attributive clause, but 满意 can be used in this way. For example, 这是一份让我满意的工作. This is a job that satisfies me. 妈妈看着我满意的笑了. Mother looked at me and smiled with satisfaction. So 定语 is a clause that can be used before a noun or a pronoun and to describe the noun or pronoun. And here you see the noun is 工作, and to describe it, you can only use 满意, you cannot use 满足 because 满足 cannot be used as 定语. And for 状语, it is to describe a verb. It's adverbial clause. So the verb here is 笑了. So you can use 满意, but you cannot use 满足. And for 满足, as it is a verb and it can be a transitive verb. So you can add objects after 满足, but after 满意, normally you don't add any objects after 满意. So 不好意思，你不满足我们的条件。Sorry, you do not meet our conditions. So 满足 is the verb, 条件 is the object. 满足条件 so meet our conditions. 如果你考了100分，我就满足你一个愿望。If you score 100 in the test, I will fulfill your wish. 这个里面也是一样的，满足 is the verb and 愿望 is the noun. Noun is the object. So you can put 愿望 after 满足. And then 惭愧. This is a very useful vocabulary. I think I didn't stress enough for you to get a hang of this word, but it's very useful in a daily life. It means feel ashamed. For example, 我不认识这个字，真的非常惭愧。I don't know this character. I am really ashamed. 他因忘了老婆的生日而感到惭愧。He was ashamed of having forgotten his wife's birthday. 那这个下一句，this is the most common one. 说来惭愧，我还没有做作业。I feel ashamed that I haven't done my homework yet. 说来惭愧when I talk about this, I feel ashamed. And then you can add something that you are ashamed of after 说来惭愧。哎呀，说来惭愧，这个大家的作业我还没有批改。I feel ashamed to tell you that I haven't correct your homework yet. 说来惭愧，我还没有做练习。I feel ashamed that I haven't done the exercise yet. So it is very useful, you see. 决心，决心。It can be used both as a noun and as a verb. So as a noun, it means determination. For the classifier, it's 一份。下定决心做某事。Make up one's mind to do something. You can just add a verb after 下定决心。那我下定决心这个月要减掉5公斤。I made up my mind to lose 5 kilograms this month. 他是个有决心、有毅力的人。He is a man of determination and perseverance. 那这个里面，下定决心做某事是 make up one's mind to do something. If you want to say have the determination, he is a person that has determination. You see here, 有毅力、有决心的。You can use this clause to describe a person. So this is a person with perseverance, you can say. 他是一个有决心的人他是一个有决心的人。This is a man of determination. Sorry. 有决心的人 with determination. 有毅力的人 with perseverance. And as a verb, it is you can just add the to do something after 决心做什么什么事情。Which means to make up one's mind. It is interchangeable with 下定决心。我决心改正错误。I am determined to correct my mistakes. 他决心重新找一份工作。He is determined to find another job. You see here, the verb is 改正, and you can just put 改正 after 决心。他决定重新找一份工作。And this here 重新 is an adverb is to describe 找 verb. So 找 is a verb. It is put directly after 决心，决心找一份工作。Another very useful vocabulary is 委屈，委屈。It can be used both as a verb and as an adjective. As a verb, you can say 委屈 somebody, 委屈 somebody, which means put somebody to great inconvenience. Or you can also say 让 somebody 感到委屈 or 让 somebody 受委屈 which means do wrong to somebody. For example, 今天晚上没有时间做饭，只能吃快餐了，委屈你了。I don't have time to cook tonight, so we can only eat fast food. Sorry for putting you to such inconvenience. 委屈 somebody, 委屈你了。今天晚上家里来了太多人，只能让你受委屈，去睡沙发了。There are too many guests at home tonight, so I can only do you wrong to make you sleep on the sofa. 让你受委屈，让你受委屈，让谁谁受委屈 do wrong to somebody. 那让谁谁谁受委屈做什么事情 you can just add 做you can just add the verb after 受委屈。让你受委屈去睡沙发了，让你受委屈去做作业了，让你受委屈去干这份工作了。So all this is workable. And as an adjective, 委屈 it means feeling wronged. For example, 她委屈地哭了。She cried aggrievedly. 我没有做错，老板却把我骂了一顿，真是太委屈了。I did nothing wrong, but the boss scolded me, which made me feel really, really wronged. So 委屈 as an adjective, it means feeling wronged. 难过 however, it means sad. Sad. It's just you feel sad about something, but you don't necessarily feel that be scolded by anybody, or you don't necessarily feel that you were put into inconvenience. You can just feel sad. The sad verb itself is 难过。我为那个可怜的孩子感到难过。I feel sorry for that poor child. 难为情。难为情 shy, embarrassed. 他听见别人这样夸他，感到很难为情。He was very embarrassed to hear people speak so highly of him, 难为情. So I hope this is clear for you, the differences especially between 委屈 and 难过. 委屈 means feel wronged, however 难过 is just feel sad. And then the difference between 诚实 and 老实. 老实 usually is used to describe person who is very simple, who is not a cunning type at all. However, 诚实, it's more like a quality of a person, and he is trustworthy because he is a moral man. It's more like moral trust. It's more like a moral choice. However, 老实, it's like this person, he doesn't have any trust. He is just simple. And at the same time, 老实 can also be used to say be obedient or be compliant. 给我老实点，别再搞事情了。Be compliant. Don't be smart and don't cause any more problem. It can be used by the parents to their children. It can also be used by the policemen to the criminals to get somebody obedient. 老实点. And our classmate has also asked about the usage of 上, especially 吃上米饭. So 上 can be used after a verb, and in this case, it indicates the result of the action. For example, 穿上外衣, put on a coat. 考上大学, be admitted to a college. 喝上啤酒, drink beers. 吃上米饭, eat rice. And maybe some of you, after these examples, you might ask, so what is the difference between 吃上米饭 and 吃米饭? So if you say 吃米饭, it means that you are actually eating the rice. However, 吃上米饭, it's more like you are reinforcing that the fact that now you can have access to the rice. Finally you had the rice. 同样的道理, with the same reason, 考上大学, maybe this is much clearer. 考大学, it means the process that you are passing these exams to get admitted to the university. However, if you add 上 after the verb 考上大学, it is a result that you are admitted to a college. 穿外衣, it means that you are wearing a coat. But if you say like 穿上外衣, it means that actually the coat is on your body already. Like you have already finished this action. 喝上啤酒, 喝啤酒, maybe you are just drinking it, but 喝上啤酒 means that you can have access to the beers or you have had the beers. So this is the difference between the clause with 上 or the clause without 上. Alright, and I have reviewed the summaries that you have written for the second lesson. By comparison, 对比第一课, by comparison to the first summary, I can already feel that you made a lot of improvements, especially in the regard of the content editing. However, there is also a common mistake, which is sometimes when you use 因为 to indicate a reason for an action, it turns out to be that the reason that you raised is not the real reason for that action. So I recommend you to go through the second text again. If you don't have enough time, I recommend you to look at the video with the number 3 and 4, the step 3 and 4, because in that video you can see the translation of the text, and then maybe that will help you to understand better the text, to see like which reasons is the actual reason for that action. And other than that, there are some common grammar mistakes that now I'm going to discuss with you. So there are in total 4 grammar points that I wanna discuss with you. The first one is 遮了过. So these three are the particles that we all have learned. 了, as you know, it is a particle to indicate the past. But when I said the past, it's really like the past tense. So I had some chips just now. 我吃了薯片. 我吃了薯片. It just reinforces the action that has been done in the past. 我吃了薯片. This is finished. 我吃了薯片. I had some chips just now. If you say 我吃过薯片, like the emphasis is really on the fact that I have finished this action and this action had an influence on the present, and it's more like the perfect tense in English. I have ever tasted chips before. 我吃过薯片. So you see the difference between 我吃了薯片 and 我吃过薯片 already. And 我吃这薯片. 这 it's more like a particle for the ongoing tense, like ing, I am eating chips. And 这 is also a particle to describe a status. 灯还亮着. The light is on. 她还读着书. She is still reading the book. 这个这 is used to describe a status of somebody or something. So when you wanna describe status, don't use 了 or 过. Try to use 这. To give you a better understanding of between of 了 and 过, we are going to compare some examples. For instance, 她去了2次. She went twice. 她去过2次. She's been twice. And in this example, you can see 了 only indicates that the event was completed twice in some time frame that must be clear from the context. And 过 focuses on it having been experienced twice in the past. So actually, maybe like later on, you wanna express something that she's been twice and now she already know about it. It's more like the influence. You're more focusing on the influence of this action. However, if you wanna use 了, it's just like, okay, this is the action and this action happened in the past. That's all. Another difference is that when you wanna describe not yet, or never, we have another particle which is may. However, 了 cannot be used with may when talking about the completeness of actions, because 了 indicates that an action is completed in the time frame being talked about, but may indicates that something didn't happen. So the clash with each other between these two words make these two words cannot be used together. And instead, may can be used alone to simply indicate that something didn't happen in some specific time frame. For example, 我没跟他说, I didn't tell him. Even though 了 didn't appear here, may already expressed that this didn't happen in that context. However, in contrast, 过 can appear together with may because it's about an event or action having been experienced in the past, and if it hasn't been experienced before, then you can use may and 过 together to express you haven't done something. 我没跟他说过, I haven't told him. And you see, with may alone, the statement is much simpler. It's just like the thing didn't happen. But if you want to say 没 and 过, it's more about the current situation. Like up until now, this has not happened yet. So this is the difference between these three words. And another mistake is 以来, the usage of 以来. When 以来 is used in between of a sentence, it is always used with 自, in the frame of 自什么什么以来. But if 以来 is used separately at the beginning of a sentence, you don't necessarily need to add 字 at the beginning. For example, 自改革开放以来，中国发生了翻天覆地的变化。Or you can simply say, 改革开放以来，中国发生了翻天覆地的变化。Because 这个以来 this 以来 is used at the beginning of the sentence. So since the introduction of reform and opening up policy, China has undergone tremendous changes. However, as in the second example, 他们自出生以来就没有离开过农村。他们 is the subject and it's used already before 以来 and 以来 is used in the middle of a sentence. So in this case, you need to add 字 before the time frame to make it sound much clearer. 他们自出生以来就没有离开过农村。They have not left the countryside since they were born. And but the differences between some phrases to describe time. After a period of time, you can say 过了一段时间，and this a period of time can be 1 month, can be 2 days, can be a quite long time. After a moment, it's 过了一会儿，过了一阵, and this moment can last normally like 2 hours at most, but sometimes it's but normally it indicates just like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, or 40 minutes. You can say 过了一会儿，过了一阵. And more than 1 hour, normally we tend to use a period of time. 过了一段时间. And at a moment of, it's 是什么什么的时候，在什么什么的时候。在我吃饭的时候 at the moment of my eating food, right? 在我读书的时候 at the moment of my reading books. 这个在什么什么的时候，这个是 at the moment being of doing something. So try to differentiate these 3 time clauses. And this is about 好 and 非常 and 很. They all can express the idea that something is very or something is so. However, 好 is usually used in oral language and in front of the interlocutor that you are talking to. And normally when you use 好, it's that you are making a comment and to stress the exceeding degree of something. For example, you went to another friend's house and then you saw that his house is very clean. So you can say, wow, this house is so clean. 这个屋子好干净呀，这个屋子好干净，这个房子好干净呀。Like you are making a comment. You think this is clean, and then you are making this comment in front of them. And you are making this comment in your oral language, so you are going to use 好. However, like in the written language, it's much more formal to use 非常 or 很 because these two are more descriptive and they are interchangeable to describe something is very. So, for example, 这个屋子非常干净，这个屋子很干净. This room is very clean. So this is the end of the overview. I will meet you all at the second part, which is the second part of the whole lesson. And the second part is a little bit difficult. So, bon courage, and I hope you can grasp the knowledge altogether, and we are going to do the exercise in the evening. Okay, see you later.